Hey guys and gals, it's your buddy Drew with Living Histories, Mysteries, and Ferocious Feline Productions. This is a little bit more solemn than I like to start a video. It's currently 3:30 a.m. on Tuesday, the 27th. As most of you know, that's regulars on the channel. I have to leave for work at 5:30 a.m. and so I get up to have my coffee and do my research, work on videos, etc. Before work. And I got up this morning, came in, got my coffee started, and started working on this video about the American West and the American Civil War. And lo and behold, this happened. Our only computer that we do all of our research on, we do all of our editing, we do everything on, because totally blind in one eye and about 80% in the other, is dead. It took a big healthy poopy caca and decided it didn't want to work for Ferocious Feline Productions anymore. So I'm now reduced to trying to do all my work on a 2x4 cell phone screen. So things may slow down just a little bit, but we're going to do our best to keep moving forward, because that's what we do. But anyway, I wanted to do something on the American West. It's been requested multiple times. And what better to do than, how the West directly influenced the American Civil War. And I think this video really explains that a lot. Check this out. This is good.
Rebellions as theaters of conflict are divided fourfold: the Eastern Theater, from the Atlantic Ocean to the Appalachian Mountains; the Western Theater, from the Appalachian Mountains to the Mississippi; the Trans-Mississippi Theater, encompassing areas like Missouri, Kansas, Arkansas, Louisiana, and the Indian Territory; and finally the Far West, which included California and New Mexico Territory. First and foremost, it was the far western territory of California that helped cause the rebellion when the territory, much more rapidly than expected, sought entry into the United States after the war with Mexico and the discovery of gold. In addition, similar to Kansas, settlers from the southern states, especially Texas, tried to imprint their slave and states' rights views on the western region, resulting in conflicts in southern New Mexico and California, among others. After the news of South South Carolina secession reached the region, and Texas stumbled half-heartedly out of the United States, pro-slavery settlers in Southern California and New Mexico held secession conventions, and in the case of Colorado, Arizona actually created separate states tied to the rebellious government in Montgomery. Interestingly, the secession of Arizona and Colorado, the southern part of California, happened before the second wave of secession even took place in the East. The conflict had come west, at least intellectually. At the same time, in December 1861, Henry H. Sibley with a small rebel army arrived in El Paso, and from there invaded New Mexico. Rebellion forces intended to reach the goldfields in California and Colorado, increase on the secessionist footprint in the region, and finally reach the Pacific coast for a transcontinental empire of their own. Sibley's invasion force of Texans faced a ragtag opposition of hastily brought together volunteer units from New Mexico, Colorado, and California, as well as members of U.S. regular army units stationed in New Mexico. Following the Battle of Glorieta Pass in March of 1862, Sibley's forces had to withdraw, never to return to New Mexico. There will be a future special on-site episode of the Battle of Glorieta Pass in the U.S. staging area at Fort Union to explore the campaign in greater detail. While the rebel military activities during the War of Rebellion in the Far West ceased with the New Mexico campaign, it is also important to remember that the War of Rebellion characterized the whole period in U.S. history. The world kept spinning, despite rebel and U.S. forces in Tennessee, Virginia, and other parts doing their best to kill each other. As a result, when U.S. regulars withdrew from the Western territories, these territories and states created volunteer units. The Oregon Volunteers, for example, did not fight any rebel forces during the rebellion, but assumed the constabulary role of the U.S. military to protect settlements and fight Native Americans. Similar situations existed across the western parts of the country. The United States and Native people had always been at war over the growing theft of native land and the repeatedly broken treaties. These conflicts continued into the War of Rebellion era, with the only exception being that U.S. regulars were not the main fighting force, but local volunteers, many of whom held racist attitudes towards their opponents. The sad result was that soldiers from Colorado, whose units had fought at Glorieta Pass, were involved in an inexcusable atrocity against Cheyenne at Sand Creek. Similarly, other soldiers involved in the repulse of the rebel invasion of New Mexico fought against Apache and Navajo people, forcing the latter on a deadly march to Vasco Redondo. On the northern Great Plains, rumors swirled that the Dakota and rebels were in league with each other. However, it were the many failures on the part of the U.S. government and local agents that brought about an uprising by the Dakota people in 1862. The government acted swiftly and forcefully against them, using largely local volunteer units, some diverted from the rebellion. Ironically, it was only a few weeks before Lincoln freed hundreds of thousands of slaves that he allowed the largest mass execution in U.S. history of dubiously convicted members of the Dakota tribe. Finally, we need to remember that the Republican Party had run on Western themes in 1860, and the government implemented the Transcontinental Railroad and Homestead Act, among others, drawing more people to the Western territories. It was not just a war about bringing the South back. It was also the goal of the party to open the West. It is easy to forget that while rebels and U.S. troops killed each other at Gettysburg, Fredericksburg, or around Atlanta, the conflict between native people and white invaders continued unabated, with many volunteers devoted to the fighting against native people. In addition, While the New Mexico campaign was not on the same level as the Antietam campaign or the Atlanta campaign, it nevertheless was a campaign that could have dramatically complicated the war of rebellion for the Lincoln government. The Far West was just as essential as any other region during the war.
Welcome back. You know, it's like I was saying at the beginning with my vision the way it is, having this 35-inch monitor hooked up to a laptop or something really helps me to get the detail in and to make a good video for you guys, because you deserve no less than good videos. And doing things on a small screen, on a cell phone, I can't get, I'm afraid I won't be able to get that detail that you deserve, that good quality video. And I apologize for that, but I'm hoping that they can figure something out here real soon, because, well, any of you who has vision problems can attest to the fact that when you're staring at something that big, your head starts to hurt. Boy, does it start to hurt. And going to work in the morning with a pounding headache, doing anything through the day with a pounding headache. But anyway, you know, hope you guys enjoyed the video on the American West and the American Civil War and how they all fit together. We're going to do our best to keep rolling right on and pumping out the videos for you guys. Gonna make the live streams a little harder without a computer, but you know, what do you do? What do you do? But that's it for today. Until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. God bless you, God love you, we do. And we'll see you out there.